to go hire them to take them on a crab adventure, what they do is they watch shows like that so they can experience the lifestyle vicariously. If you've ever seen Pawn Stars, if you've ever seen any of the shows on Discovery Channel that might be something like American Pickers, it's about living vicariously and learning to connect with the people who are doing it, right? So if you can learn to connect with the main characters, you want them to connect with you. You don't want them invested just in your pumpkin patch or your apple orchard. You want them invested in you as the person who's talking to them about what it's like to own and grow an apple orchard. When it goes wrong, when it goes horribly wrong. Those times when you think you shouldn't make a video, oh my God, we got a really bad frost, we almost lost everything we have. That's exactly when you make a video. Because that's when people go, oh my God. And you should be talking about, we almost lost the whole orchard. Because that's what's gonna get people to watch. They don't wanna come visit you. They might want to, but that should be ancillary. What should be important is get them into the conversation of growing apples, growing pumpkins.
Awesome.
All right.
That's really great.
That's what you should focus on.
And then hang on to that.
In case I visit?
I mean, you might do it
I might.
yourself.
It might be there.
They have hard cider for the adults and, like I said,
How hard?
fun stuff for the kids. I mean, I don't want to be salesy.
How far away is it?
I don't want to be salesy, but we're in Nebraska, so consider yourself invited.
Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks again. All right.
My name's Mary.
Say it into the, you got to say it over here apparently, because
I'm
I
on
handed you
camera.
this.
Okay. My name's Mary. I work for an airline, and I handle all of our UGC content creator partnerships. And I kind of dabble in the influencer space, but we also have someone else that kind of handles that. How would you differentiate those conversations between me hiring someone to create UGC content for our channels versus influencer content for their channels? Like, obviously I know the difference, but just like, we negotiate differently. Obviously it's a different cost as well, how much we're paying. So just kind of how do you see from a creator perspective, like those conversations differentiating?
For me, when we're talking about anyone listening, UGC, user-generated content, it can be different. Think about the goal. What's the goal? Now, if you're making content, let's say for your channel, a lot of that is going to be product-driven because you have the product. Maybe you say, like, what it's like you're in the airline business. Is it specifically what it's like to be on certain flights or take vacations, or what is it?
Destination travel. We're a nonstop airline. It's Allegiant Airlines. Okay. We're a nonstop carrier, so that's kind of our shtick, is no layovers, get to your destination faster, more time on vacation, leisure travel. So we highlight the destinations that we fly to, because we fly to kind of smaller towns in different areas. And we fly to different towns and smaller areas. So we highlight getting there, but also what it's like to experience those things. So we work with, CVBs and local things as well.
Okay, so what does the viewer care about? They probably care about what makes Allegiant different.
Right.
I book flights all the time. A lot of times it's just about, look, I'm trying to get the best price. But there's a weird line that comes between what you get for the money and how much you're willing to spend, right? Sure. So experience, because airline experiences are so weird and so diverse, it can be very awful. You should be addressing that. Like, if you're an airline, I want you to tell me what's the 5 biggest things that make flying through any airline horrible.
Yeah.
And you give me tips to go, listen, let me give you 5 tips to avoid some of the biggest stresses that most travelers experience. Number 1, and you start breaking down like when you book, or how to know which seats to book, or how to know the right flight to get on, or how to make sure that you're packing in the right way so that your carry-on bag doesn't end up getting checked when you don't want to check. But all of those things I would be talking about. Speak to the average person who would be your flyer and build content like that. And then you can say in there, like here at Allegiant, what we try to do is implement these things. Right. So you address their situation first and then explain what it is that you might do different to give them a better experience. Sure. Then when you go and you talk to maybe some other partners you might work with, is that kind of the differentiation? Yes. Yeah. So, hey, listen, we claim this. We think we're better at this. Right. Sure. What we'd like to do is give you a free fly out here. Do me a favor. Talk to me about the experience. We don't want it jaded. Right. Tell me what you think. And if you hate it, you hate it. And just talk about what we can do better. And that, I talked about it in here, authenticity. Right. If you start coming across as an airline that really cares about what people think and then try to make changes and listen to the people, not just paying people like, well, of course he's going to say good things. You just paid him to take that flight.
100%.
Beat us up.
Yeah.
People love it.
Yeah.
when they're authentic and go,
Yes.
you can't fault them. They
Yeah.
came out and went, tell us what we can do better, and then say, we loved hearing this feedback. This is what we're going to try to implement. We're going to try to address this. We do have these other things that in the future, if that's a concern, you may want to consider booking this way, because that may not be a concern for everybody, but in your situation. And you start engaging in the conversation of air travel instead of the conversation of Love Allegiant, and they will find Love Allegiant because you gave them a reason to love air travel.
Sure.
Make sense?
Yes, 100%.
That's absolutely where I'd live.
Love that. Definitely the direction I'm trying to go with our creators and our creator program. It's my favorite part of my job. I love all of the relationships that I've been able to make and giving people a platform that don't necessarily have followers but are just really talented at what they do. So just definitely like seeing differences between the influencer space and people that want to grow their channels and people that don't necessarily care about growing but just want to have content out there that's really nice. So definitely taking a lot of feedback, all of those things. So appreciate your notes there.
The one thing I would say is and I think there is a wide open lane for all kinds of marketers and brands to grow if they start teaming up with strategic partnerships in a strategic way. If you find people that you go, like, that's the trick. How do I find people to work with? Yeah. And they go, that's a great partner. Start with trying to find people who seem to be living a lifestyle where air travel makes sense.
Sure.
And if you don't, don't wildly go, seek them out.
Yeah.
Start going, I'm going to go onto YouTube and talk about who's traveling, who's been doing things, what different size channels, who's connecting, who's got a lot of comments where people talked about an air travel and go, oh my gosh, hey, we saw what you've been doing. You've been traveling, you had a bad experience on JetBlue. We'd love to send you and see be honest with us. Tell us what you think. We'd love to fly you to wherever.
Sure.
And do those things where you start becoming the engaged airline that is really connecting with the community and connecting with other creators who are out there traveling. Sure. It's easy. It's an easy fit. You're not demanding anything. Yeah. You're trying to be a partner with them. Yeah. And then ask for things back in return. Like, let me know what you need from us. Sure. Let us know, what did your viewers say? What did comments? Pay attention. What are other people saying that you didn't talk about in this video? Right. That they'll be going, you know what the problem I had with Allegiant was? And you start learning how to be authentic and transparent.
Yeah, people tell us, don't worry.
Yeah, I know.
Go through our comments. They'll tell us.
But you know what? It's the difference between a great company and a company that runs into problems are companies that avoid the questions and don't address them. Yeah. And the ones that go, that's a big thing. And if you explain and give them perspective of why that's hard for you, they go, I totally get it. And if you give them tips to not run into those problems next time, regardless of if you use our airline or someone else's. Right. Think about this. Then they go, I love these guys. Yeah. They make my world so much better. I didn't know that tip. Definitely. And then they'll start coming back to you to learn more about travel and who are they going to trust? Who's the one that made their next travel plans easier? Yeah. Yep. Allegiant.
Yep. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. It was so nice to meet you.
Thank you too.
Appreciate it.
Great job.
I guess I went past 42 minutes.